Starting in 1915, more than 1 million Armenians were murdered, marched to death, or died of starvation on the orders of the Turkish government. For Armenians in the United States, the mass killings are a defining issue and an essential political and cultural question. It was a trauma the Armenians have never forgotten, says Professor Ronald Suni.
It's something that's absolutely part of their nature and part of their identity. Is it too much that people concentrate on a genocide the way, say, Jewish people all over the world focus on the Holocaust? I think it's unavoidable.
U.S. Congressman Robert Dole of Illinois this year repeated an annual call for Washington to recognize the slaughter as genocide.
We must recognize the horrors of the past if we hope to avoid repeating them in the future.
But for Armenians in the new independent Republic of Armenia, the quest for normalized relations with Turkey is becoming more important, says David Pollack, senior fellow at the Washington Institute for Near East Policy.
They share a border, they share a lot of potential economic and other interests in common. And this issue is a bit of an impediment to that kind of normalization. So I think, with all great respect to the sensitivities and the historical memories and grievances, I think that there may be a bit of a conflict of interest here between Armenians here in the diaspora and in Armenia.
Washington's issue of whether to use the word genocide has become so problematic and politicized, it is taking attention away from improving ties between Turkey and Armenia, according to Thomas DeWall, senior fellow at the Carnegie Endowment for Peace.
You start by discussing the history, the massacres. Maybe you come round eventually to the word genocide, but at the moment the word genocide is so toxic that it shuts down the conversation. You can't really start a conversation with the word genocide.
The U.S. government has recognized that 1.5 million Armenians were massacred or marched to death. But State Department spokeswoman Marie Harf stopped short of using the word genocide.
The president and other senior administration officials have repeatedly acknowledged as historical fact and mourned the fact that 1.5 million Armenians were massacred or marched to their deaths in the final days of the Ottoman Empire, and stated that a full, frank and just acknowledgement of the facts is in all our interests.
In southeastern Turkey, residents of the largely Kurdish city of Diyarbakir are coming to terms with their past. Armenians are being welcomed once again. Dikranui Chakarian's parents survived the massacre. Now in Washington, she says young Turks don't even know about the massacres.
They don't know. So, I forgive them, yes. But whatever happened, it happened. And we survived. Whoever survived with God's will, But what can you do? It's a story. It went into history.
Sharon Behn, VOA News, Washington.